I guess so.
Hey,
Is it gonna show that?
What is
Yeah,
up, guys?
it's William Cody.
We are live with you tonight. We've got KBF AOY Cody Milton up there in the top left. Shane Williams down there in the bottom. Our man's Ryan is out working, so we're missing Ryan tonight, but that's all right. We're gonna handle this. Cody, thanks for joining us, man.
Absolutely.
Welcome.
Thanks for having me on.
Are you back in Arkansas now and getting some rest and chilling?
Pull your thumb.
Move your thumb. There you go.
What's up?
There you go.
Your thumb was covering the mic.
I'm assuming y'all got tripods or something for this. This is difficult.
Oh, you're doing good. You're doing good, man. Anyway, just want to say congrats to you for winning that. You want to give us a little rundown of how your season went? I mean, you spent a lot of time out on the road, fished a lot of time.
A lot. I think I came up with, just from state challenges and things like that. I think it was something like 33 different lakes that were involved in the whole year.
Wow.
It was pretty crazy. It started back in Bull Shoals in Arkansas. Snow on the ground. I remember waking up that morning like it snowed outside, and Brad Case was with me. It's like, no, it's snowing. So it started cold, and man, I mean, ended on, really a good note. And it was a fun year. I mean, there's so many people I could thank that I didn't even know how to, thank or reach out to enough people. But it was a fantastic year, and I greatly appreciate everybody that's reached out to me.
Awesome.
I saw a post you made talking about some of the things that happened, sleeping at boat ramps, blowing out tires, and wild stuff.
Yeah.
So along the way, did you run into anybody that was really key to helping you, like good sports that helped you when you're in a jam, stuff like that?
Absolutely. I mean, I stayed a lot with Eric Siddiqui and Mel Ash and Josh Stewart. There were several others, but man, yeah, there was times. I remember Kentucky Lake in particular. Blew a trailer out, and I have a pro angler, so it was tough to put this thing on top of the Subaru. So I'm hauling around Paris, Tennessee, with a PA-12 on top of the Subaru, and I'm like, I call Eric. I'm like, man, I'm pretty sure I've got a good place that we can go, but you're gonna have to come with me. And sure enough, he went, and we both caught good limits. I think I ended up fourth in that tournament. I think we had a bunch of spawning fish in a marina back down on the south end of the lake. But yeah, and it was stuff like that. And Jason Broach, I think he helped me change 2 tires when it was all said and done. And his brother took me to get a car. I mean, all kinds of stuff. I mean, you don't truly understand, like, it really is a family. I mean, you're out there and there's not anybody else out there to help you, especially when you're down in, Fellsmere, Florida, these small towns that nobody knows about. So yeah, it was, you can't thank the friends that were there enough, for sure.
Do you have a favorite, maybe lake, or maybe not even lake, but specific event or tournament from this season that stood out?
So, for me, for the bass side of things, I really like lacrosse. I mean, lacrosse is a really good venue, and I expect to see a lot more events come there in the future. It's a fun town, and it's really good. Some of the best topwater fishing you'll ever see in your whole life. But Grand Lake was fun too. I kind of tried to jackpot that tournament and spent, I spent like 2 weekends up there because it's only about 3.5, 4 hours from me. So I spent a lot of time on that lake and really got to enjoy Grand. It's a good one. But no, Selfish Smackdown's coming up. It's kind of on the mind right now. So I have a great time with that every year. I try to get more bass guys to go every year. So maybe this is going to be the year.
You go to the one down in
Pompano
Beach?
Yeah, Pompano. Yeah, it's ran by Joe and Maria Hector. They do a fantastic job.
Yeah, I'll see you down there then.
Oh, really? Have you've done one before, haven't you?
I did my first one last year, yeah, but I got we had kind of a bait debacle. I got a barracuda, and that was my only live bait of the day.
Did you go out the second day?
Mine was only, it wasn't. I guess I didn't do the Selfish Smackdown. It was a summer slam.
You played the summer. Yeah, those are good too. I mean, those still draw like 150 plus people every time.
Oh yeah, it was awesome. Massive beach launch. It was really cool to see.
Yeah, it is. It's good. Some good footage for sure.
So, Cody, this is a question a lot of people ask. How in the world do you get to go to all those events? Are you like independently Donald Trump wealthy, or are you just fortunate with it?
No,
He fishes for a living.
Yeah.
So I work for an investment company.
Yeah.
We manage, and they're all just right on downtown Searcy. My dad owns a few different retail stores down there, and I kind of help oversee and do things like that over the phone. We actually opened an ice cream shop this year. It's been a lot of fun. It's called the Soda Jerk down in downtown Searcy. That one's been really good for us. So we just kind of keep, we'll take small businesses and just, try to turn them around in smaller towns. That's mainly kind of what we do.
That's awesome.
Used to have a gym floor company, but now it's just outdoors company and a t-shirt company and a ice cream shop. Okay. So we do a little bit of everything, and I guide quite often too. We've had a few trips this week already, and I'll have one next week. So I spend a lot of time on the river too.
You doing trout stuff right now, or what?
Oh yeah, I don't know the last day I wasn't on the river. At least for an hour. I live 9 miles from the Little Red River, so sure. I spend a lot of time there. And they're just showing up too. Like I found 4 beds this afternoon that weren't there yesterday. So it's getting right.
What did you have a?
You have to come fishing. You have to come catch some browns with me.
Oh, definitely, man. Hey, did you have a key moment during the year that kind of turned your season? Chasing this, like a lucky break or anything like that?
Yeah, there was several, and this will kind of hit home with you, Jeff. This was the one I knew it was going to be really close in the end on challenge points, and I didn't necessarily have great challenge points, and I knew I needed to win Arkansas or at worst finish second the last month.
Right.
And you had like Robert Murphy up there with like 105 inches, Dwayne, all of them, Jason Adams, all of them. And so I was like, I had one full moon that I was going to go back up to Northwest Arkansas, try Swebco, and it was pretty much already done. Right. And I had a blowout at 11:30 going to Elmdale to fish right down from my buddy's house. And I called Robert Murphy, and I was like, dude, it's like, can you get me a ride somewhere? And I was like, just take me 5 more miles to Elmdale. And he's like, I'll do that, but I'm not taking you there. I'm taking you to Lincoln. And I'd never been there. And he drops me off with no car at midnight. And I proceeded to catch 104 1/4 inches in like 2 hours. And
Good
like that,
Lord.
like I remember texting him. I was like, dude, I think this did it for me. Like I really do. So that was kind of one of, that was kind of cool because it like wasn't a live tournament, but it still had to be done. Like you had to find those fish somewhere. So that was a fun one. Still the only time I've ever been to Lincoln. So I guess I need to go back there, I guess.
Yeah, I might want to take a trip back.
Yeah, that little lake holds giants.
It's
got
insane.
Our single day tournament records from there. I mean, it's something
Is it?
else.
Yeah. What was the record?
This summer we did a blind draw tournament where no one knew where they were going, and
yes, sir, yeah.
Who was that? Rance Richardson pulled that lake and pulled 103 or 104 in one day, and that's the biggest string in one day for us. And that was in the middle of summer, daytime, not at night.
I mean, you'll get 12-inch gizzard shad like on a regular basis. It's insane.
But hey, now everybody knows. Nobody come up here. Leave that lake alone.
Hey, I'm not going to Swebco next year. I might as well blow that one
up. Might as well.
Yeah.
Now, Swebco's fun. It's just, it's one of them weird Frankenfish lakes. Yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to go through the comments here and see if anybody's got any questions for you.
Spradlin mentioned me, but I couldn't see what he actually said. That's probably something derogatory, I'm guessing.
He said Shane is a sexy beast.
Oh, wow.
So that was nice.
That's pretty good compliment.
And disturbing at the same time. I don't know.
So, I got you, big boy.
Cody, what are you going to do in 19? Are you going to try to reclaim the title, or are you going to fish the Hobie? You going to do both?
I feel like I have to.
Yeah.
I was talking about that last night. I was like, I really, I would love to be able to make it out to Chickamauga for that first event, but I think I'm going to have to go on to Santee. But I mean, from there, I'm definitely planning on fishing, both events. The Hobie stuff is going to be, really, really good next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be a good time.
It should be, absolutely. Should pull some really good numbers. And I mean, I was talking to somebody about that today. It's like you should see a lot of 100 to 200 people events. So
yeah,
hopefully so. But no, other than that, no, I'm mainly, I feel like I kind of have to try to go back to back, right? So
Yeah, definitely.
So I'll be chasing that pretty hard this year again. I didn't think I was going to be able to, and I think it's going to work out where I'm going to be able to make it to enough events to fish them both. So
awesome.
Great.
Looking forward to it. Yep.
Hey, you got to keep that thing in Arkansas, man. That's where the
Dude, I
fishermen
know,
are at.
right? Yeah, Garrett Morgan was so close having the rookie of the year too. It was like we almost kept it in the Nashville state this year.
That'd have been all right.
Oh yeah.
Let's see what else we got on here. Kyle Long, you know Kyle, Cody, from over our way?
I do, yeah, a little bit, yes, sir. Yeah, I know we were kind of sharing the same hole there for a little bit. We just never ran into each other.
He put in the comments he hates this conversation. I guess he don't want anybody knowing that.
Oh yeah, yeah. He might. That might be the same hole I was talking about, actually.
Yeah. Now we got these Missouri guys talking about they know where it's at too. So secrets out.
Oh boy.
We'll see.
Out.
We'll see. We'll see what the best are. I've done 108 plus, I guess, 3 different times out there. It's like my best. But that lake is insane.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a 22-inch bass there. It's like 7.5, 8 pounds.
Oh, they're all strong and mean.
Oh yeah, and deep. I mean, those things are. I mean, you catch them in 40 foot of water there. It's insane.
Let's see. Now, what for 19, Cody? Are you gonna jump in that some of the pro side, this KBF pro thing? We're gonna talk about that a little later. But what are your thoughts on that?
I am, and one thing that I think is really cool, and a lot of people are probably kind of overlooking, is like, it kind of seems a little, I don't know, I want to say crazy, but it's like the payouts maybe kind of aren't there for what you think they would be, but for that last event of the year is going to be crazy. I mean, I really think if it works out, you're going to be talking about fishing for 6 figures against, 50 people potentially or something crazy. I mean, it should, and it might not actually happen this year, but it's close. That stuff's getting right, getting really close. I think one thing, that probably hurts it is, not enough people can get things completely paid for right now. And I think that'll hurt that, because if you have a sponsor paying for you to be there, it's not as much of a problem.
Right.
But yeah, you talk about, just people that are still trying to make it and really, getting in the door. It's hard to go pay that much money. I mean, I couldn't have done it this year. There's no way.
Right.
I mean, absolutely no way. It's close. I mean, the vision's there. I mean, absolutely the vision's there. And that final event of the year will be really, really phenomenal. The numbers you'll get through the year, I mean, I think it'll vary. Obviously, I feel like the Southeast will have the strongest pro series as far as numbers and anglers. But in some of the other ones, I don't know. Like some of the stuff out west, I don't have as much knowledge about. But they should be pretty good. I know the payouts, kind of seem a little different. So we'll see how it goes. What do you guys think about it?
Well, for me, we're kind of in an awkward spot for the trail series in general. We're going to talk about that here in a minute. But Northwest Arkansas, it's not really close to the Southeast. The Central's really blown out. For me, if I do 3 events, I'm going to go to Texas. I've already talked to some of the Texas guys about it.
And those are all closer to me too. And not to prop Texas up more than it needs to be, but there's a lot of really good anglers down there. I mean, that's a solid. I mean, and it's not just like the guys there's some really, really good anglers down there that get overlooked. I actually think that's going to be the strongest series next year. As far as like anglers, like that's going to be stout.
You guys,
but yeah, and I know some of those lakes, man. Those Texas lakes are tough. I don't know. It's one part of the country I don't like as much. The red clay bottoms, hard bottom everywhere.
That's different. That's different than Arkansas water, man.
It is, right?
There's no rocks.
Catch like suspended bass in 60 foot of water or something.
Yeah, there's no rocks down there. I don't like that.
No, I know it. It's weird. Yeah.
What about you, Shane? You gonna hit that pro part of the Southeast Trail or what?
Well, I'm the furthest from a pro, but one thing to consider is that the the majority of the expense with these events is usually associated with gas and lodging and food. So you're already paying all of that. So you're only looking at, a small percentage to jump up to, to have that potential bigger payout. So it's probably something I'll consider if I'm able to hit a lot of them.
Well, and one thing, like, I think that you'll see, and I mean, maybe not, but if as long, like, and I don't know exactly how much has been like released about that final Pro Series event, but I mean, if it really works out, like, there'll be a select few people fishing for a lot of money, and I don't know, I don't even have a Facebook app on my phone, so I don't keep up.
Oh wow! It's at the events themselves you get it's a 50% payout at the spot, and then 50% goes toward the end of the year championship. Is that right?
Is that I'm not sure. I think that is. I mean, that's kind of what I understood. I think it initially came out a little bit different than that, though. Is that right?
No, I'm not sure.
Well, and I'll tell you, the Hobie series is kind of, I don't know what the payout's going to be at the TOC this year, but there's only going to be 50 guys.
That's going to be, that should be really
That's going to be a select field, and it's going to be a small amount of guys fishing for a lot of money.
Yeah. That'll be one to really.
I just feel like that's kind of what everyone's trying to get to. It seems like, because I mean, you look at, I mean, how many anglers do you have that are really able and willing and want to travel that much to go to national events,
Yeah.
But I think like it's definitely totally good for the sport. I don't think it hurts the KBF. I don't think it hurts Hobie. I mean, I just think it's really good for the sport in general.
I think it'll push both trails to really look at each other and improve, and
that's true.
Make adjustments as needed, and it will end up winning as the anglers and competitors.
Absolutely, yep, absolutely.
Well, I'll tell you what. On that note, Cody, we appreciate you coming on here and talking about your year with the AOY. You can stick around, please. We're going to take a break here in a second, bring on some more guys, and we're really going to dive into each region with some guys from around the country. It's a pretty ambitious move here. We're going to try to have, I think, 7 of us going at once here. So we're going to try to manage that.
Oh, wow.
So
it's going to be crazy.
I'm going to transition us over here, break out for a second, get everybody else in, and we'll be right back. So y'all hang tight a second.
All right. Appreciate it.
All right.
Are they?
All right.
We
are back.
Seeing all 8 of us?
Yes, all of us are in there right now. Hey, everybody, we're back. We got the whole clan in here right now. Let me run through who's with us. We still got Cody. We've got Derek Aiken, Jason O'Brien, Abel Patino, and Chris. How do you say your last name, Chris?
Calori.
That's what I thought. We appreciate you guys jumping on here with us. It's a pretty good sized panel, so we're going to try to go around the horn and kind of break down each region. You don't have to go lake by lake. You can touch on each lake and kind of tell us what your thoughts are and how KBF set this up. So with that said, Chris, you're up here in the top left corner. You want to jump in first and talk about that northeast region for 2019?
Yeah, all right. We start off in Virginia with Smith Mountain Lake. And then we hit down to Candlewood Lake in Connecticut and Upper Chesapeake, then East-West Harbor in Ohio, and then finish it off in I can't even pronounce this one, in New Hampshire, Lake Winnipesaukee.
Right.
And then you have the regional championship on the big lake in Erie. Now the nice thing about the Northeast Trail Series is it's relatively close. I mean, if you're here in PA or in Ohio or in the New York area or even in the Virginia area, it's roughly the furthest you got of a drive is about 10 hours.
Okay.
10, 11 hours, depending on traffic and stuff. And there's some pretty stellar lakes that you're going to be fishing on.
So what's the vibe from the people up your way? Everybody feels pretty good about that schedule and pretty happy with it?
It's honestly, it's a mixed vibe. Some people are happy about it. Some people aren't. And I see both sides of the spectrum, so to speak. I think the trail series could have been broadened a little bit, more towards the Midwest. I don't really understand having East-West Harbor and Lake St. Clair not being part of the same trail. But then on the same note, I understand KBF not wanting two world-class fisheries being in the same region.
Right. What would you say is the best lake on y'all's schedule up that way? The can't miss.
Probably up this way, I would probably say Upper Chesapeake or East-West Harbor.
All right.
Is East and West Harbor on the Northeast schedule?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I'll see you up there. That's like one of my favorite places around.
Yeah, you got big smallies up there.
Oh yeah, and over the largemouth get overlooked. Those harbors are amazing.
And that's the same with Lake Erie. You know, that was a big thing with the Northeast Open this year. You know, everybody was so tunnel vision on the smallmouth that people forgot about the largemouth up in Presque Isle.
You forget they only see a frog for like three months out of the year.
Right.
They destroy it.
Right.
But
all right. Well, next let's jump over and look at Southeast. Shane, you're over that way or down that way, whatever. And it looks like Cody, you're going to fish that. What do you think about how it's laid out? To me, it looks like a dang an easy one to follow compared to some of the other ones.
Yeah, it's going to be a really good time. So for Southeast, it's pretty kind of like Chris was saying for his region. Ours is pretty fairly, I guess, condensed. We've got Santee Cooper, of course. Most KBF competitors are familiar with that in South Carolina. That's going to be the first one in February. But then the next, you've got Gunnersville in April, which is going to be awesome. That's a killer time. May is going to jump into Georgia for the Three River Throwdown. I'll be hosting that one with Ryan. Obviously, that's one of my favorites. That's always a really good time that we put on. We'll have a lot of extra prizes there, hopefully some sponsor support and opportunities to catch really big largemouth, shoal bass, spotted bass. Each of those rivers are unique, so it's a pretty cool chance to get down there and kind of see which river fits you best and which species fits you best. Then from there, we're going to go back up to Chickamauga, which, again, is an awesome big bass lake. There's going to be a lot of fish caught there. That'll be a really good time. That's in June. And then Kentucky Lake in July. So most of us probably recently have fished either March for the championship for KBF or maybe May for the Hobie Open. But we'll be out there in mid-July on Kentucky Lake, again, chasing some big schooling bass. So that should be a really good time. Then the championship is in September, and they haven't actually set that location. It may be Arkansas, it may be somewhere else. Probably not going to be as centralized as all these Tennessee River chain lakes, but it'll be on a really good lake, I'm sure. But I'm really excited about those stops. I think those 5 are going to be really, really solid lakes. A good time, a lot of big fish.
Yeah, I'm sitting here listening to all you guys, and like I said earlier, we're sitting right in the middle, and I've got to choose between Southeast, Texas, Central, and they all sound good. So I don't know which way I'm going to go.
Yeah.
Next up, Central, Derek. Thanks for getting on here with us. I know it's blizzard up your way, isn't it?
Yeah, it was the last couple of days. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and you actually helped put this together with KBF too, right?
Well, I actually put together the Midwest. It was someone else originally, but they stepped down, and I took over from there and got together with all the tournament directors and went from there.
Okay.
I seen the comments the last few days or last week or so on the page. I did try to get a tournament in Kentucky, but as you all know, the bluegrass kayak anglers, the management is changing, and they weren't sure who was going to be leading it, so it just fell apart for Kentucky. As far as the one other state that I've seen a lot of people comment from, Oklahoma, I did as well try contacting people out there. The 2 tournament directors never heard back. So at that point, we had to make a shift and work throughout the rest of the Midwest.
Sure.
With the national championship being in March and most of the region being under snow until May, and some states not having an opening until the beginning of May or mid-May, that's why we're starting out so far south in Kansas.
Yeah.
From Kansas, we move up to Lake St. Clair, which is right around the time of the opener up there. And he doesn't like Lake St. Clair or smallmouth. I know it's a little far for some of the region, but I based the region off Des Moines, which is basically the middle point, north, south, east, and west. Madison Chain, Wisconsin. If you've never been there, you got 5 lakes that are incredible for largemouth and smallmouth. You can even chance catching a trophy muskie on the side, just like St. Clair. Mississippi River, that was the one where we tried to go to Kentucky, but we had to shift it over, and I think Iowa Kayak Anglers for helping me out with that, filling in there. It's going to be just south of where the championship will be 2 months before. Mark Twain, that was another one that we filled in there. It's kind of – I thought it was pretty central for all the different states that are involved. With 13 states, it's kind of hard to spread out 5 tournaments. And then Table Rock, I thank Josh Booth for that, as he changed his tournament series schedule to make our regional championship work out.
Yeah, Table Rock's that's a legit lake, fun lake to fish, all 3 species. So,
yeah, so it should be a good schedule in the Midwest to get our guys up to La Crosse. So,
yeah, I know there was a lot of chatter down here, over here in Arkansas about. I think some of the West Virginia guys felt this way too, kind of like, dang, where are we at? We're in limbo. And, I look to the Central because I like Big Hill and I like Table Rock, but that's a long drive to Wisconsin and St. Clair and some of those other ones.
Right.
But
well,
I understand.
That's one thing. Arkansas doesn't fall in my area.
Right.
Arkansas falls in the southeast, where I almost felt that it should be in my area, and Oklahoma should be connected to Texas. It just, to me, makes geographical sense.
Right.
But who knows what will come in 2020?
Yeah, one of the things people don't think about in Arkansas is that there's anglers all over the state, but the majority, the biggest group, is in the very northeast or northwest corner, which really borders Missouri and Oklahoma. So it's kind of weird. You can't make everybody happy, and I understand that. So that's fine.
Jeff, how far are you in that northwest sector from, say, Guntersville or Chickamauga Lake?
I think Chickamauga is a 10-hour drive.
Wow. See, like for me, all those Tennessee River lakes are only about 6 hours.
Yeah.
That's one thing. Like, Arkansas is not a bad place to travel out of.
No.
Like, I think for me, Lake Fork's like 4 hours. Toledo's about 4. 4, and like Kentucky's 4.5. How long does it take you to get to Kentucky, Jeff?
It's 7 and almost 8 hours, something like that.
Is it really? Yeah. But we're about 4 hours from each other. So.
We're in a good spot. We can get to all 3 of these regions. It's just a matter of which one do we want to pick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which one are we going to pick? The guys that want to travel anyway. Which kind of leads me to my next one, which is the Texas Trail with my bud Jason O'Brien. Thanks for getting on here with us, Jason.
Big boys.
I'm going to throw this over here. This is the one I've really been eyeballing. I've kind of talked to Jason about it a little bit. I like Texas because I like going down there. I'm not that great at fishing in Texas, but I like going. So, Jason, kind of run down these lakes. We've talked about this before about it. This is a really, really good schedule.
Absolutely. This schedule is, when I saw it, was like, man, we're talking big bass here. Great fishing. And I'm a power fisherman. I'm not a big dry daughter and all that, although they catch fish. This is old school Carolina rig, Texas rig, throwing jigs, moving baits, springtime stuff. And it starts off with OHIB out in West Texas. it's going to take 100 inches to win that straight up. It's a rocky, clear lake. It fluctuates a lot up and down water level, but it's a good lake. And then in May, I guess that's March, April, Ray Roberts. That's that lake. That's its best month is April, and that's going to be a numbers lake and size. So again, that's going to be easy, 95 plus to win that 1 inches. And then from there goes the Big Sam Raven. I mean, that's like an incredible. That's the one I'm concerned about. Sam Raven's going to have a big Texas trail bass fishing bass boats are going to be that's a huge tournament there. So it's going to be the same weekend. But Sam Raven's so big, I think everybody can get away from everybody. But that's another 100-inch lake, Frog City. I mean, just finding them shallow. And then Whitney, and it takes a big break, and we go to Whitney, another deep lake that's fishing really good, and that's going to be high 90s to win that one. And then Toledo Bend, that's the farthest one for me. And everybody knows about that one. Jesus, so much to fish there. So the schedule is amazing. It is straight up old school bass fishing, as I'd call it. Love it. And then it finishes at Fork in September, which is better than October or November. September, we're talking early fall where these fish won't be as finicky.
Nice.
Awesome. That's pretty cool.
It's the best schedule I've seen for Texas in a long time. When I saw it, I said, that's it. This is one I'm going to do straight up. So it's a strong schedule.
Yeah, and it gives somewhere for, like I said, the Western Arkansas guys, the Oklahoma guys. We can kind of choose. We can go north. We can come down to Texas. So there's a lot.
We need to do a friendly wager, Jason, on whose region will have the biggest bags. I think
absolutely.
Well, that's not even fair.
You get some good lakes where you guys are at. Absolutely, you know.
Yeah, it should be
all them. There's some giant. It's going to be. That is a good way to see. I don't know. Think of something, but I think it's going to be right there neck and neck. I would think.
Well, the next guy may have something to say about that. Out west, you guys got some big ends out there too. Abel, you want to jump in here and talk about the West Trail?
Yeah. Big fish. I mean, they're out here, but they really haven't shown themselves in tournaments. Not recently, anyways. We're famous for big fish out here, but honestly, the numbers I don't think are they're not there. I don't think we've even busted 100 inches on any tournament yet.
Really?
So,
but didn't you have somebody caught, was it a 25 or a 24 3/4 or something more than once out there at Berry I think, and then Clear Lake last year?
Almost every tournament you see 20, 23 to 25 incher pushing 10 pounds. There's usually one fish at least. But yeah, we had a 25, I think, at our first tournament this year, which is our first tournament for KBF next year, which was on Berryessa. We had a 25 inch on that one as well.
That's
so yeah, they're out here. It's just not the numbers that you guys have out there. I don't think they don't spool up like that.
So I think you're pretty familiar with most of the stops. Can you run through what the schedule is? You already mentioned Berryessa is up first. We know that's a really good one.
Yeah, that's
so you guys are looking forward to that one.
Yeah, top 10 or top 5 in the country according to Bassmaster last year or something. That's a good one. That was our biggest event last year, 138 anglers. I believe we had
crazy.
Yeah, that was a big one. Next one after that is in March, Lake Havasu. That's actually in Arizona. Lake Havasu, deep, clear water lake.
Did you fish that one last year?
I did not. No. That one, I've actually never fished any lakes down south.
Oh, okay. You gonna try to give it a shot this year?
Yeah, this year for sure. I'm gonna hit at least 2. Lake Havasu actually is gonna be the same weekend as the Hobie Open or the Hobie Trail Series event this year. So, yeah. So I think I'm gonna hit the Hobie one instead of Havasu
on Shasta.
Yeah. That's on Lake Shasta. So I'm kind of bummed about that because Lake Havasu is famous for big smallmouth, and it's an interesting lake to fish. You're fishing that time of year, from what I hear, you're fishing smallmouth bass in like 30 feet of visibility, 20 feet down on beds. So
that's wild.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Cool. So yeah, that's a bummer missing that one. But the next one after that is New Maloney's Reservoir. That's Northern California. That's like an hour from me, so I'm definitely hitting that one.
Yeah,
that's a good one to hit for sure. If if there ever was a record largemouth, it was probably in Berryessa. That lake just
is that where the rumored like 25-pounder was?
That's it. That was it.
Oh Lord.
My God.
Just a rumor, but yeah, it could have been true.
Hey,
the smoke is fire, right?
Abel, how do y'all feel out that way? I know it's kind of a weird deal. There's a lot of land between the Central and the California Trail. Do you ever feel like you're out there on your own with the Northwest and California?
Oh yeah, for sure. So we're in Northern California. Southern California doesn't get as much love as we do. They don't have as many anglers, as much participation like we do. So those guys feel a little bit less love, but we have them all out here. We have a lot of tournaments out here, a lot of anglers participating. It's just a lot bigger out here.
Yeah.
For those that aren't familiar with Abel's Trail, yak bass, they routinely do like 110, 120 at their just on the local tournament trail scene, which for me in Georgia and Florida is unheard of. I think it's one of the bigger ones in the country, maybe up there with MSKA and some of the other really big trails.
Yeah, Cats, whatever, down there in Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah, some bit like we did Fayette, which is too small last year with the Cats, and I think it was 189 anglers. It's just too many kayaks on my
Yeah. It's almost getting to that point here.
Yeah,
we were at Berryessa.
Right. 3,000 acres ain't enough. You got to go with a bigger lake,
Right.
And Abel, you guys do a lot of like shotgun starts too, like one ramp. So you've got 100+ guys all launching from the same ramp, which is really cool photography. It's a cool sight to see, but I imagine that's got a lot of challenges to launch out like that on a lake.
Yeah, so our local trail series actually only does a single launch. So you can't even. It's just that launch point, and that's it. And
wow.
Like when we had that 138 angler event, that was just mayhem, really. We had to go out, I think, like 4 miles just to get away from most people, and we still had 20 guys around us. So it was, it's challenging for sure.
Any tense moments there? Everybody got along all right?
For the most part, yeah. I mean, we haven't had any major issues. There's the usual. There's guys that don't know common courtesy and get too close, but everybody's pretty nice when you talk to them about it. We've really had nothing but answers.
So, is everybody on here planning on going to Shreveport for the national championship early in the year there?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right, that ought to be a good time.
Louisiana, come on.
Yeah.
It's big fish time.
Yeah.
Cato.
Yeah,
I'm gonna try to lay some eyes on it. I think here in 2 weeks, like December 8th and 9th. I think they've got the Heroes on the Water tournament down there.
I got you.
Yeah. Or it's not on Caddo. I think it's on like the Knack. But I'm gonna hit Caddo for one day while I'm down there. But yeah, that place is crazy.
Send us your cords.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will. I'll send them all.
Get you one of those angler things and put it on your finger. All right. Well, everybody's on here. I appreciate y'all breaking those down. Something we do every week is chime in on a social media post, usually, maybe a couple. There's one that got thrown up yesterday that was funny and kind of makes you mad all at the same time. I'm going to throw it up here real quick. I'm going to call it the Dickie Doo pro staff guy. I don't know the guy. I don't know the situation, but if any of you follow this, it was basically a tournament director that kind of loaded the deal for himself to qualify for the national championship, and the thread went on and on and on. For any of you that saw that, what do you guys think about how that went down? And I know Richard chimed in today about maybe redoing some things because of what he saw there.
Is he dating somebody named Brittany?
Oh no, maybe.
That's a different guy.
Different guy, different post, different guy.
It was interesting that this came up the day after we had that long discussion about whether tournament directors should be allowed to fish their events, because I would love to fish mine. I didn't fish it this year, but if KBF is doing the judging and all, I would like to. But this guy fished his entire trail and didn't, seemingly from what I saw, and I didn't read the whole thread, but it looked like his best tournament was maybe 2 smaller fish, 12-inch fish or so.
Yeah.
There was only 4 or 5 guys in most of the events, and somehow he ended up AOY.
See, I've got a problem with the partner clubs. I understand the need for it, but I have a problem with the way they allocate the slots to the national championship. There's no governing body or any organization behind it.
They can kind of give it out as they see fit, can't they?
You know, a lot of us, we bust our butts to go and qualify for these slots, and these partner clubs can hand the slots out at will. To, you know, they basically say, okay, who wants to go to the national championship? Raise your hand.
I've seen tournament directors almost verbatim say that, you know, toward the end of the year, hey, we've got these slots left over. Most of us are qualified. So if you're still not, holler at me and we'll make it happen. It's like, man, we've been busting our butts all year.
And to be fair about that,
forget about the,
I'll say Richard has said that the national championship, he owns the fact it's a big spectacle. It's not a, you know, top 50, top 100. It's a giant show. I mean, it's still a big deal to win it, obviously. I mean, ask Dwayne Taff. I'm sure he didn't mind that check. And you're beating some really good guys, but it's more about the show. And I just think they want those numbers in there more than they want.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
And I'm not defending it. I agree with you, Chris. I think there should be much stricter guidelines for partners and who gets in and things like that.
Right. I mean, you got guys that spend thousands of dollars, you know, in just travel expenses, you know, going to different trails and opens and whatnot, versus somebody that just gets handed it.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I know in our club personally, it's all based on Angler of the Year points. The only way a spot rolls down with us is if you qualified through another club or like a trail series or a state challenge. Other than that, it's strictly Angler of the Year points.
Yeah.
Right. And there are a lot of clubs that stick to that rule, and kudos to them and you guys that do that.
So, Abel, where are you at?
Yes.
Yeah. Again, you fish one of the bigger kayak fishing local trails. It's a KBF affiliate, and I know you were actually the AOY for 2018. Do you guys? How does that work with you guys? Do you do the slots top AOYs down the list, or do you know?
Yeah. I think we got a few slots to hand out this year, like most partners clubs did. We actually did the AOTY thing as well, so top AOTY anglers got to choose. But it's been pretty open. We're probably one of those guys that hand out just whoever can go, pretty much. And it's mostly to guys that don't have the time to fish. So there are a lot of guys that just can't fish the events, can't fish enough to get into AOTY. So it's a case-by-case basis. They look at guys that look like they might deserve it. Give them one or whatever they have left over. So.
I think for you guys, it's probably too a factor of who. I don't know how much it should be weighed, but who can actually make that trek from Northern California to Louisiana? You know, that's a huge investment of time and money. So who's willing to actually do that? And then on top of who's willing, who's qualified. So I know there's a little bit more factor with you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Just making the trek from here out there is almost worth it enough to earn yourself that spot, I think.
Yeah. If you're willing to do that drive again, then you're qualified.
Uh-huh.
Let's see. We got some questions on the comments here. Cody, who killed all those turkeys behind you? Somebody said.
That's actually a grand slam behind me. That's a Florida bird, a Kansas bird, a Colorado bird, and an Arkansas bird. That's all of them. I didn't get the Florida bird or the Colorado bird, but
killer.
We do a public land trip to Kansas every year for a couple days. But yeah, no, he killed his Florida this year with the actual. He might not actually have the mount back yet, but yeah, my roommate, he was like, he killed a grand slam by 24 years old. He smoked them all.
Nice.
But yeah, no, there's a little bit of everything in here. I think 30 mounts in my man cave.
Wow, you see them all.
Yeah,
this guy.
We'll walk around. I think the deer behind me. There you go. It's a big one. That's an Arkansas deer right there.
Nice.
Y'all growing big out there.
We try. We try.
Anything else from any of you guys around any of the regions?
I'd like to touch on. I like the fact that they're giving 2 drops in these series. You know, not everybody can just fish every event or something comes up in life. I like having the drop.
Yeah.
Even too, I think it's a good deal. You know, a lot of people are against it. You know, but sometimes life happens. You can't make it to all your tournaments, or even if you have a bad tournament. You know, that just happens. I agree with it. You know, I think it's pretty cool. I don't even mind the 2 drops. I like that. I mean, best 3 out of 5. That's okay with me, man.
I totally agree.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Especially for guys that have to drive a long ways. I mean,
yes.
You know, if guys from Oklahoma or Arkansas that want to come down to Texas, we might not make all 5 and drive 8 or 9 hours or whatever it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or
Well, it
10
depends.
hours
5.5 for me. I mean, you know, depending on my work, it's not easy to get off. So, I mean, I even make Toledo Bend, but you know, stuff like that. It's cool. I think that you can do that. A lot of trails don't like that, but I like it.
We do that in our local trail. I mean, we have 7 events. We drop 2. We do that just because everybody can't make every event.
Yeah, we'd like to make a living off these, but none of us are gonna make a living off these tournaments, you know, yet maybe. But it would be nice, but that's not happening yet. So have a little bit of life.
Cody made a couple bucks though.
It's true. It's true.
I'm excited to see what the Pro Series is going to do. I think in its infancy this year, it's going to be trial and error, but I think 2020 is going to be big things for it.
Yeah,
I think you're exactly right. I totally believe that.
What is the Pro Series? I don't know what exactly. It's hard for me to follow some of the KBF stuff.
If you have to ask, you wouldn't understand, bro.
The way I understand it, the Pro Series is strictly designed for the trails, obviously, and you know you have the national championship, which is the spectacle. You know that's for everybody.
Yeah.
But the Trail Series this year and from now on is going to be designed for the best of the best. You know, it's not going to be for your weekend angler, for your everyday Joe angler. It's going to be to separate the men from the boys and the ladies from the girls.
I like it.
That's what it's going to be about.
And I kind of touched on it earlier. One thing I'm like a little bit worried about is it's so much money. I feel like there's a lot of really good anglers that if they don't have those entry fees paid for, they might not do them. You know,
right.
and I think that could leave out a lot of people. But I mean,
I think with that entry fee right now, and I think he just kind of threw that number out to see where it's going to stick on the wall.
How many people are in it? Yeah.
Yeah, how many people have the sponsor backing to pay those? You know what I mean?
It's not
Right.
The personal
I
finance.
know, I don't.
No, yeah.
I didn't see the thing. How much was the entry fee? What was it thrown out?
Well,
I didn't see
it's at the trail events. Like you can just pay an additional, I think it's $200, and you're in the pro division, but you have to pay the original trail entry too. So 75 and 200, 250. I'm sorry.
So we're looking at like 325 or something like that. I think.
Plus, you have the $200 membership
on top of the additional $200 pro membership that you have to pay.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Membership.
Yeah.
I did forget about the membership.
So
The membership's new to me. I didn't know about that.
that's an annual, $200, I think, annual, right?
Okay. Yeah, I gotcha.
And then $300.
There's not a Pro Series membership though, is there?
Yeah,
There is.
Yeah,
$200.
Oh, there is. That's what's $200.
Yeah.
Oh,
You got it,
Like I
Cody.
said,
Don't even worry about it.
I'll keep up with it here a little more soon.
Well,
let's see. Everybody's chiming in. 325. So yeah, that's what it's going to be for the pro.
325.
David,
I mean, I guess if you're trying to move it up, that's fine. I guess it'll work.
over time. I don't know if this first year it'll be a hit, but maybe over time. I don't know.
But I think in 2020 it's going to bring in a lot of other people.
For sure.
And
Sponsors,
this is just my opinion. I think you're going to see a lot more of the Dave Lefebvre's in the tournaments.
Tony Hobbs chimed in and said he's a pro, but his wife won't let him pay that.
Aren't we all, man?
I feel you, brother.
Aren't we all?
Yeah. And one day, Ike and Ellie will get this kayak off his Toyota and get it in a tournament.
Yeah.
He's claimed he was going to do it a couple times, I think.
Yeah, he was supposed to be at
Yeah.
Toledo Bend last year.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, all right, guys, we're kind of dragging on to the evening. Anybody got anything else? And we'll jump off here in just a second.
This was really cool having everybody. We should.
Oh, man,
do this
yeah.
every year.
Awesome.
That's a blast.
Thanks for having us.
That was
I
fun.
enjoyed
Thank you for the invite.
Yeah,
to
appreciate
see
you
you guys.
fellas. Maybe, before the season starts or mid-season, we can have a big panel like this again or something. I mean, that was fun. Looks like we can squeeze a few more faces on the screen too, so we'll try to branch out a little bit. We'll get Ryan back and throw somebody else in here.
It was a
Sounds
blast.
good.
Yeah. All right. But hey, appreciate you guys, and thanks everyone that jumped on here and watched. And we'll see you guys back next week.
All right.
All right.
Y'all have a good night.